Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast, joined as ever by my friend, the Dr. Will McRaney. How are you, brother?
Yeah, the good Reverend Doctor.
The
Yes.
Reverend Doctor. There we go.
Yes.
That's going to be the official title. Let's put it on the
Oh
business
my
cards.
goodness. Anyway, yeah, it's
Oh,
good to be
man.
with you, Matt. It's a little bit
You
of
too.
fall weather, a little bit of cool, a
Yeah,
little bit of nip in the morning, not much, but
it's a good time of year, man. It's a good time of year. Speaking of the fall weather, let's dive right in. We had a big event at the church on Friday. Tell us how Trunk or Treat went.
we did. It was our people just did an amazing job with the cars and their decorations, decorating the cars, and then many of them actually wore some type of costume themselves, and there was just great effort to help set up and get that going. Sandy kind of took a lot of the point with the overall look and feel and layout, and then Marcia Fox helps with organizing some of the cars and getting them in the right spots. But we had the fire department here. That was a great thing. They're always a big hit. They set up a table. We had like a scavenger hunt, so everyone kind of the kids went around. They had a big fun. We had food. Larry Gonzalez helped us with having hot dogs, and we had
Yeah,
some phenomenal mild and hot cheese dip.
there you
Take
go.
your
Love it.
choice. I'm pretty wimpy. Let me be
Yeah,
honest.
I
I do
am too.
not.
I don't do it.
So we had the food. We had the game sitting out. It was just a big fun. And of all things, Batman showed up. I'm
All
talking
right.
about
Nice. I love it.
full out car logos,
Very.
lights on the inside, everything.
Oh,
And
it's so fun.
costume to the T, the walk, the sound, the clanking, the steps,
Yeah, everything.
everything. And so Batman came in and took pictures and with everyone and just did a great job. And just our people, man, just it always just I think fun for them. And
Yeah.
then obviously as well, the kids came in. So we had small children. We had probably 10 or 12, maybe 15 teenagers.
That's cool.
And then we had the parents as well. And so it was just it was a really good day. People were asking about what we're doing with our facility because of the signs, which you knew because you helped lay those out. And we had some men help me put those up, and Jolene helped me put those up on the new facility and coming the fall of 2026. So
Yeah.
we're going to have some stakes in the ground, do some more things much before then, but hopefully we're going to be in business this next fall with our
I love it.
facility fully operational. So it was just a big day.
Yeah.
We've been telling people this was coming. People had fun with each other. We had fun welcoming our guests, and then people just pitched in and helped in every kind of way. So it's a big day.
Yeah, yeah, lots going on. Very cool, very cool. Well, let's transition a little bit. So we started the weekend on Friday, big time at Trunk or Treat. How was
Yep.
Sunday at Island?
Well, Sunday was good. We dealt with clearing up relationships. Basically, I did the sermon entitled "Reducing
Yeah.
Relationships Wrecks
Mm,
and Regrets." And
that's
so,
good.
relationships, we just bump up against people, and
Yeah,
there's just challenges all the time. Like life just kind of brings that kind of thing, because
yeah,
everyone's unique, everyone's different, and then because of just our just human nature, right?
yeah,
And so I talked about how can we reduce that, and what do we do when we do bump up against each other, and how do we not live with such regrets? We can't. I
yeah,
did talk about the difference, and if somebody's out there struggling in a relationship, there's a difference of forgiveness, which is one way
yeah.
you can do that from distance, but a
Mhm.
restoration in a relationship actually takes two people.
It does,
And
yeah.
so you may be in a relationship where the other person's not willing
Right. Absolutely.
to see the relationship's restored, and all you can do is what you can do. So that allows you to live without regrets
Yeah,
in that
yeah, it's
relationship. So you
true.
may have sorrow, you may wish things were differently, but what we don't want to do is add to it. And so that was Sunday. We had again, we continue to have guests. Some people are going to test drive things. They're going to see some people are going to stick with our church. We're very glad about that. The returning guests that we have, and then we'll have new guests that will be a part of how God directs them to the church He would have them involved in. And so we continue to be encouraged with that. Some of our people are coming back from the north. That's a good thing. And so we certainly welcome them, whether they're down for a week, a month, 6 months. We
Yeah,
we enjoy having them come back, and
always
so
fun.
that was this Sunday. It was really there's a sweet spirit in the service, and we had a time of at the end kind of an altar call,
Very
more
cool.
formal altar call, for people just to pray over a relationship that may have been broken. And we know that many parents and many people out there have, too many, sadly, have had complete disconnect from family members or friends or children or parents or whatever it might be. And so I wanted to have them have an opportunity to be recognized, not personally. We didn't call anyone by name or anything else, but to having a time to pray and let them know that, we feel their pain. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's such a, I mean, when we take things out of the big abstract and get them down to just the personal level, like what we're all going through in our lives. That's one of the reasons I love that we're in this Heart Attitude series, is because it really takes the theology stuff, the Bible, and it just makes it so practical with, this is really how the Word of God speaks into our day-to-day life and our relationships. And so many of us, whether we're old, young, anywhere in between, have had difficulties in relationships, and there's need for healing. There's need to just submit those to the Lord. And so I love that we're going through this Heart Attitude series, and that it's something that is actually seeing people take next steps to transform those relationships. It's huge.
Yeah. Well, you don't grow out of these things, Matt. Sometimes I think I preach a message. I think, hope our young people heard this, and then I have some of our more senior adults and come to me and say, I have to continue to wrestle this. So.
Absolutely. Well, help us understand a little bit more about what's coming up in the life of Island Church. We got some stuff coming up with Christmas season on the way. That's for sure.
We do. But this next week, we're going to do what Baptist, although we have people from every type of walk of Christian faith, but Baptists, we often used to say, we're going to meet and eat. That's what we're going to do. And so, so this week we're going to have our annual picnic out at Fort DeSoto. It's a great time in terms of weather. We're going to be back at Pavilion 14, which is where we had the sunrise service. Those who are listening will know, just go to the T, turn left, and it's on the right down there. And so we have had that facility rented for this coming Sunday. So we'll probably get started somewhere around noon down there. And kind of when we gather up, and we'll get the food laid out, and people will be bringing food. Awesome. And so that's going to be good. If you want to participate in that, we'd love for you to come. If you'd like to bring something, we can help coordinate that as well. Talk to Sandy. I'm not sure who else they could talk to on that. Maybe Jolene up here. Probably call the office, and probably Jolene could help them with that. But we're also going to do a baptism at least one person. And again, if you're out there would say, hey, I would like to, I've not experienced believer's baptism since I personally trusted Christ, then give me a call, give me a shout, and call up here. And I'd love to talk with you about that. But we're going to celebrate a baptism, and we're going to have a meal together and just give thanks. And so that's coming up this Sunday following the service. You can bring some clothes and change. You can change out there. You can bring yourself and don't change. I mean, you can do whatever you like. Pretty up in that. So we got that. And then in December, we've got a couple different kinds of things. The lighting of the Christmas tree. We're trying to get a booth over there. Not sure that's going to happen, but we'd like to. We just found out yesterday. We thought we had one scheduled, but we don't. But, that's going to be coming up in early December for people to get to know what we're doing here at Island Church, that we're here. And then we have plans for the community, to love the community. And then we have our annual ministry celebration. We're actually going to do that this year, Matt. And they'll hear more about this through November, but we're going to do that after a service. Charles Blanton's going to help us with some food. As I keep saying about Charles, we keep giving him opportunities to practice. So hopefully he'll get better. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
So it's selfless, it's Christ-like, it's all for him.
We're helping Charles. No, in seriousness, Charles is phenomenal. Cooks, done competitions and those kinds of things, just amazing. So we're going to have a meal following the service in early December. Seems like that's maybe about the second week, and then we, I think that's the 14th. We'll have after that, we'll have our celebration of our ministry for the year and talk about our ministry plans for 2026. It's not just a planning meeting, but we're going to talk about what we're doing. And then we're going to lay out what we call our ministry budget, our ministry plan, which is our financial plan to how we're going to fund the ministry God's given to us. No one just wants to give to a budget, but we have when they give, they're given to the Lord first. And they're given to the church expanding its ministry and its mission field. And we're going to hopefully have some exciting news related to our building and some timelines and some dates and some actual cost. So it's just that's what's coming up. So picnic this week. Thing across the street. There's other things in December, singing, Christmas Eve, but we'll get to those later. So
yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up in the life of the church folks need to know about. What's an easy way that folks can be praying for the church this week?
well, we're I'm going to talk about just a second here, Matt. Just talk about in their financial giving. We just pray that God would provide the financial resources. We're probably 28,000, maybe even $30,000 behind in terms of our giving and
Yeah,
expenses this year. And I just encourage people towards a couple of things. One, try to keep the building giving separate,
yeah,
because that's a special kind of thing. That's kind of above our tithes and offerings. But we have normal ministry and obligations, and I encourage people to continue to give towards that. And one of the things that the finance companies are going to look at when they look at potentially helping us with bridging the gap, if we need some financial bridging, is they're going to look at our reoccurring, in essence, they would call revenue, our gifts, our tithes and offerings. And so
yeah,
they're going to be taking a look at that. And that's a little down this year.
yeah,
And that's really important because we have plenty of assets. There's not going to be a risk to a lending organization because
right,
the assets are going to
right,
triple or quadruple what we're going to borrow, or more. So that's not going to be the issue. The holdback is going to be can you pay a payment back?
right,
A loan, you can make your payment.
right.
And so I just would encourage everyone to really consider, as people think about this giving system. I know you work in this area, Matt. It's one of your area of expertise.
Yeah,
To really consider the church making some additional gifts or making that extra kind of thing that they do, make it toward the church's general offering this year. It's all going to end up in the same spot, but the
absolutely.
banks and institutions are going to be looking at that number. And we're a little behind right now where we need to be. Grateful for each gift that's been given, each sacrifice that's made, but just want to
Absolutely.
encourage people just to pray about their part in that. And we're thankful for the people that are helping us with
Yeah.
that.
That's a great word. That's a great reminder to just be all in with the church in every way, right? Whether it's praying,
Yeah.
whether it's finances, whether that's serving. So, Pastor Will, thank you so much for sharing that. Thanks for giving us all the great updates of what's happening in the life of the church. We'll see you here next week. For us, probably different time for recording next week. You got some travel coming up, which we're
Yep.
really grateful for. Give you a little bit of a break coming into
Yep.
the kind of last sprint of the holidays. But for everyone else who's watching, we'll see you back here next week on the Island Church Weekly Podcast.